We are now 1 week into Black History Month, and our celebration continues all month long. We are honoring the trials and triumphs of being Black in the Bay. So you'll see many stories celebrating our contributions and connections. Well, this morning we're joined by Chris Chatmon, the founder and CEO of Kingmakers of Oakland. Now, Chris, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I really love the work that you're doing, but I want you to tell us about your nonprofit, Kingmakers, and what kind of made you be inspired to start it.
Excellent. Thank you for the opportunity. Wow, really, the impetus of starting Kingmakers of Oakland came from my own journey of being a product of public schools in South San Francisco. And that experience that I had was one that I didn't learn much about my own history. And so I really didn't have exposure to my first Black history class until I went to college at San Mateo, CSM, and had an extraordinary teacher, Dr. Zelty Crawford, that really helped me realize the whole time through K-12, my crown was in my pocket and helped me take it out my pocket and rock it. And so the impetus of Kingmakers of Oakland was really how to work with public school systems to lift up the beautiful narrative and the cultural prosperity of Africans throughout the diaspora and how they've impacted all Common Core subjects. And so that's the core of our work, and that's what we're doing, working with Kings, centering Black boys while serving all students.
Your crown was in your pocket. I love what you said there. We know our Black boys, they're kings, they're vital to society.
That's right.
And you know that firsthand. I want you to talk to us about the education system and how it's failing many Black students. And you've experienced some of the failures too.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we're still working with a very antiquated system that needs to update its formulas and content. And so another reason why we started the work, and actually our work was born out of Oakland Unified School District's Office of African American Male Achievement. When we launched that body of work and we looked at the data, by all of the positive academic indicators that we assess in public school systems, our kings were actually at the bottom. All of the negative academic indicators, our kings were unfortunately at the top. And as opposed to locating that problem with the kings, with Black boys, Black children, it was really the ecology of the public school system. And so we work in service of systems now really to lift up the cultural prosperity, as I said before, culturally relevant curriculum in math, science, language, arts, social studies, and the elective classes from preschool through 12th grade. We work with districts around recruiting, training, and retaining Black male teachers. Not only does having a Black male teacher have a direct impact on the self-efficacy and long-term impact of Black children, but all children benefit. We work with districts around engaging families and communities within the African diaspora, but how do we see them as assets and leverage that so we can go farther faster. And so that's, again, the work that we're doing. We can't do it in isolation of school districts and community. We just offer a set of innovative processes that center our kings while serving all.
You all are in the schools, you're on the ground talking to these students. Briefly tell me about a few of the programs that you all have.
Absolutely. Yeah, school-based programs right now that I'm really excited to lift up really is the work that we're doing with teachers in schools in the Bay Area, Washington, and Georgia around culturally relevant curriculum. So working with teachers on what are strategies that you can do that lift up the lived experiences of the children, centering Black boys, but actually all children benefit for them to know who and whose they are. That's one domain. Working with districts around recruiting, training, and retaining Black male teachers is another domain. We were blessed in November of 2022, though, to secure our first property. And we also know that our work working with districts also is very important around having a proximate, being proximate to our communities. And so we've launched our Media Academy. So we're teaching kings around the technical aspects of telling your story, around really centering and lifting up the beautiful narratives that we have that many times get lost around the negative deficit kind of stories and or just the general stories around sports or media when there's so much more that happens every day. And so the Media Academy has taken off, and want to thank definitely a number of different partners in that domain. And then our other direct service program is our the Fellowship Initiative, sponsored by JP Morgan Chase and the Golden State Warriors. And that is a cohort model where we identified 40 kings, Black, Brown, API kings that we recruited in 9th grade, and our graduating class this year, we expect to have 100% matriculation into colleges. And so those are our direct service programs based out of our Cool Labs, Design Center Production House, as well as working with our school districts.
Wow, good stuff that you're doing. Because of what you're doing, you're a change maker in our community. So if no one's told you, I'm pretty sure they have. I appreciate the work that you're doing. And it's shifting the minds of not only black men and black boys, but also, like you said, everyone else who lives in our society. So, Chris, I appreciate your work.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.